How to change your diet. I've changed my diet many times already, and I find that sometimes I can make it hard for myself, but in fact, it's super simple if you do it right. And it's not very complicated. But let's say you want to go from a normal diet to a vegan diet, for example. What I did is I just jumped into the vegan diet like this, and I was so motivated and just so convinced that the vegan diet would change my life that it was easy for me to just like jump into it. So it was actually not a problem for me to do this, to just do it overnight, because I was just sick of all the meat, the dairy. I didn't want that in my life anymore. And so I just went for it. But what I do advise to like make things a little more simple is to do like one small change in your diet at a time. So right now, for example, I went from vegan to 2 weeks ago. I went from vegan to a paleo diet, and so this is not about a specific diet at all. It's just like about lifestyle change, how you do it easily. And so what I'm doing is, on a paleo diet, there's many things that I will have to cut out, and I just like do it step by step, and I cut out one thing at a time, and I just see what happens. So what I did is I cut out all the grain and beans, and I also bring in like meat and eggs in my diet, and so it kind of like balances out what how it would have looked if I didn't put meat and eggs in it. And so every time like you cut out something, do it like cut out like one thing and see how it goes, and see like how, if you still have ideas for meals, if you still know what to eat and stuff, and try to replace your meals. Like what you can also do, like one step at a time. You can, for example, like let's say what you gotta focus on in a week is 14 or 21 meals, and what you can do is to just like replace a part of these meals, not the 21 meals in your week right away, but you can tell yourself, okay, on I'm gonna replace like maybe three lunches in the week, and I'm gonna make them vegan or paleo, and just see if I can come up with something. And then like you change that, you replace them, and you try to see if you really have ideas for what you're gonna eat. Because what can happen is, if you cut out a lot of stuff, then you don't know what you can eat anymore, and that's the worst thing you can do, because it's not good for the body, because you need to eat. You're like even if you don't feel good in your body on a current diet, you're kind of on a homeostasis, you're in a balance. And every time you bring something out of balance, it can have negative impacts, even if you are switching to a better diet. If you do it really abruptly, it can just like make you feel uncomfortable for a few weeks maybe. So that's what I find easiest. Like, I'm not strict at all at the beginning when I'm changing from one diet to another. I'm just cutting out like one thing, like I cut out the grains and beans, and then that I have ideas about what I eat in a week. I know I can eat paleo during one whole week. I'm gonna cut out like all the sweet stuff, like all the sweeteners, and also all the chocolate and all that stuff. And so it's probably gonna be completely paleo then. And also what you can do is like do super simple recipes at the beginning, and do also like you can try to cook big portions so that they last for 2 or 3 meals. So it's like when you Google vegan recipes, for example, you're gonna find a bunch of super complicated recipes where there are like, I don't know, maybe 10 ingredients. But my advice would be, at the beginning when you're cooking stuff, try to do recipes where there are like less than 5 ingredients. And let's say if you're cooking something vegan, let's say there's just like rice, onions, um, potatoes, tomato passata, and uh, and just then like spices or onion, and that's it. Like that's your meal, and you just do it with these 5 ingredients, and you try to find like to replace, let's say, because on your current diet for like 21 meals in the week, you probably have like, I don't know, a certain list, like a number of recipes. Try to replace those step by step. If you eat the same thing all the time, then you can just like replace it with one type of meal. But chances are that you are eating a lot of different things because there's a big variety in what you're eating. So try to find a list of simple recipes that you can handle, that you know how to cook. So don't take a list of 10 recipes that you found on the internet and then you're like, okay, this is my list. Now I'm going to replace everything right now. No, you test one, you replace. You test one, you replace. You test one, you replace. And you do like simple recipes. Because, yeah, at the beginning when I turned vegan, like it was alright, but I really didn't know what to eat. And and I looked for recipes and they were also fucking complicated. And I was looking on YouTube and there were all these Americans with their doing like fancy stuff and it was great. It looked awesome. But I was like, man, in my room, I was living in a small room. I don't have an oven. I can cook in big pots because I don't have the space. And so, but actually when you're going vegan, there's a bunch of things that you can do that's super easy. Like for example, a bunch of quinoa with avocado and tomato in it and nuts on and oil on top of it. And you do it like for 3 meals. And I never did that, but that's so simple. It's like, just like, as I said, 5 ingredients. And if you want, you can just like do hummus on the side or something else. And then you're full. And it's cool, you know? So that's what how I would do it. Change your recipe step by step, change your meals step by step, cut out the food step by step, do simple recipes, take your time, and like don't go just change your diet overnight, and also be super relaxed at the beginning. Like don't be strict at the beginning, and after a few weeks when you think you can handle being strict, then you can be fucking strict about your diet for 30 days and see how it goes, like without anything that you want in your diet. Just cut out everything and see how it goes. But if you go like directly like this, I wish you good luck. It's possible. It's definitely possible. But yeah, just try it out. Thanks for listening.